Thank you very much, Srihari. Friends, welcome back to NRISamay, live from Los Angeles. And this is your today's host, Srikant Kocharla Kota. Every week, we try to bring in untold stories, unheard voices, and real heroes to our shows. And we try to have a conversation with them and try to bring in their honest perspectives and facts of the work they do. So this week, no exceptions, my friends. Today we have Himanshu Kumar with us live on NRISamay. So just to give you a background on what Himanshu Kumar's work is all about, and to give you a perspective of what kind of activities have been unfolding from the past few years. Himanshu Kumar ji is a Gandhian human rights activist from Meerut, has been working in Dantewada, Chhattisgarh from the past 17 years in the midst of an old triangular war between the state Naxals and the Adivasi split from within the government and the fight between the government and the tribals as well. Also the prime of Vanvasi Chetna Ashram, an organization as a nerve connection between Adivasis and an indifferent state. Hailing from a different Meerut, Himanshu and his wife have painstakingly learnt Gondi, the local language, and have assimilated in the local milieu. So traveling on foot into the villages deep inside the forest, they focused on teaching tribals about their entitlements, slowly tugging isolated communities into the democratic framework. So they created awareness about various government schemes meant for Adivasis and also about ways of utilizing all these schemes. So this helps Adivasis hold the state apparatus accountable by making them demands teachers in the schools, medical facilities, sanitations, and others. And Himanshu Kumar ji and his team has played a key role in setting up the functioning of women self-help groups and health worker programs, training programs for projects, for leather treatment and rice cultivation, etc. So many things, just a few that I've mentioned. So Himanshu Kumar has been repeatedly mentioning that his work is to strengthen democracy at the grassroots. So today we are very honored to have Himanshu Kumar ji with us. So Himanshu Kumar ji, welcome to our show today, and it's a great honor to have you on our show today.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me on this show.
Thank you, Himanshu ji. So Himanshu ji, let me come to this. Chhattisgarh basically produces 20% of our country's cement, and it ranks first in the coal production and second in coal reserves. And also, it's third in iron ore production and first in tin production. Despite this, Chhattisgarh remains one of the most backward states, ridden with poverty, plagued with very complicated problems, one of which is Naxalism. So, I was just trying to understand what makes Chhattisgarh different from other states, Himanshu ji.
Well, Chhattisgarh is a tribal state. The tribal population is very large there. And this is very rich in mineral deposits, as we have mentioned. And unfortunately, it's a state ruled by non-tribal politicians. And it is presently facing a very unfortunate war, a war for mining. And tribals are being displaced to capture the land on which they have been living for ages and under which these mineral deposits are there. So this is a state which is facing this disaster because of its rich mineral deposits.
Oh, okay. So Mineral deposits being the background of being in a very bad state right now. So people fighting to gain control or rich mineral deposits. Is that what you mentioned, Himanshu ji?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The war in Chhattisgarh is for minerals only.
Oh, okay. Himanshu ji, you had quite a long relationship with Chhattisgarh, which has been anything but ordinary, and it's been very eventful to say the least. So help me understand the conundrum of Chhattisgarh. From a Gandhian, you are forced to become a fugitive. From being allied in the tribals and the government, you are alleged to be a Maoist. And now, after your ashram in Chhattisgarh burned down, I believe you're staying in Delhi. After spending almost 1/3 of your life in Chhattisgarh, so are you still wanted in Chhattisgarh? You are a wanted person in Chhattisgarh, and what is your current state right now, Mr. Himanshu ji?
Well, my father has worked with Mahatma Gandhi. He joined freedom movement. Later, when Acharya Vinoba Bhave started Bhudan movement, the land gift movement, which was in a response to the violent movement Andhra Pradesh by communists at that time, which was to that cut the throat of the landlords and distribute their land. Gala Kato, Zameen Bato. And Vinoba started Bhudan in response to that. My father became full-timer with Vinoba Bhave in that movement. So we inherited those values, and we thought that we should continue this work. And we went there just after 1 month of our marriage, and we had decided that we will stay here with the tribal community and spend our whole life in serving them. And we were doing that very, I can say, effectively. Tribals have accepted our services. But when the state, Chhattisgarh was carved out from Federation 2000, and after which state government signed many MOUs with different multinational and national corporations for mining. And it took a shortcut to get the land for mining. Instead of obeying the constitutional path of taking tribal consent for mining, before taking their land for mining purpose, they started burning their houses. And that forced us to raise voice against this government move to displace tribals. And that made government very angry with us. And they arrested our colleagues. Then they started picking up tribals for whom we were fighting. And then first they demolished our office and ashram, and arrested our colleagues. Then they started disappearing our people for whom we were fighting. And then there was nothing with which we could continue our work. We were working for rehabilitation and getting people back to their villages, for which we needed colleagues and financial support and everything. And everything was stopped by the state. So there was, we were not in a position to continue our work. And lastly, they started picking up people for whom we were fighting. So I thought, instead of stopping this fight on their terms. We should continue this fight. I will later in this discussion I will tell what were the exact situations. I mean, for which I decided that I should remain outside jail and should continue my fight instead of sitting inside the jail, and people for whom we were fighting should also end up their lives in jails.
Wow. Okay, this is pretty intense. So let me step back a little bit to understand. Chhattisgarh is a split state. So it was one big state which was split, and Chhattisgarh formed a new state. And what were the challenges that you have identified? And can you explain a little bit about the whole transformation of Chhattisgarh becoming a new state, and what were the challenges you identified? You've moved yourself from Meerut to this interiors of this forest area, literally, and then trying to work for their causes. What were the major challenges that these tribals face? Because being in cities, being in towns wherein at least we have access to many different things, a lot of our listeners or a lot of our people are unaware of what is the life of these tribals and what are the daily challenges that they face.
Well, actually in 1988, I, with my father and Nirmala Deshpande, a very known Gandhian activist, and many others, we had visited Bastar in 1988. And at that time, I had decided to work in this area because we saw the area that people are living and their children are not getting simple medicines for simple ailments like malaria, diarrhea, dysentery, scabies, and they are dying because of a lack of very common medicines. Then they were not getting what was very simple that they should get, like a teacher in the school, Anganwadi worker in Anganwadi, ration at ration shop. And they were facing a lot of corruption in the system which was prevailing there. So I decided that I should come here, stay with them, and should try to make their life a bit easier. In 1992, finally we came to Dantewada, and we started living in a village. At that time, Dantewada was not a district, it was a village.
Oh, okay.
The district was Bastar. And Chhattisgarh was not a state. The state was Madhya Pradesh, and the state capital was Bhopal, which was some 700 kilometers away from our place.
Okay.
And district headquarters was some 100 kilometers from our village. And when we started working there, we saw that, children were dying because of the malaria, pneumonia, diarrhea. So first of all, we approached doctors in the hospital, which was 15 kilometers from the village where we started living.
Okay.
And doctor said that we are not going to visit your village. We are fine here in the town. And if you wish, we can give you some medicine and we can teach you how to administer them. So they gave us medicines, and I emptied my wife's vanity bag, makeup box, and I said that who is going to see your makeup here in this jungle? And we filled medicines in that vanity bag, and we started roaming around in the village in search of ailing children and women and people. So we started with distributing medicines. Then we would collect children, take them to the hand pump, wash them. Then we would teach them. Then we started interacting with youth. We brought a volleyball. We started playing volleyball with them. And like these activities, we tried to become one of with the community. And then we started talking with them, learning their language. And then the things started coming up like teacher not regular in that school. Then we organized women and youth, and we took them to the collector, and we showed them what is the democratic process of getting things done. We took them to the collector. And actually, my decision to come to Dantewada was that because the Naxalites are trying to prove that only violence is the way to protect the rights of the tribal. So we had decided that we will prove that non-violently people's issues can be addressed successfully. So that was our ultimate motive of coming to Dantewada. So we started strengthening that democratic process, like organizing people, taking them to the authorities. The community members would talk to the authorities, getting things done successfully. And like that, the organization started growing. And at the day when we left Dantewada, it was working in 4 districts with 1,000 full-timer volunteers.
Oh, okay.
So, and we worked on issues like that every child should go to the school. We trained women, barefoot health workers in 2 blocks, Dantewada and Bhairangarh block, in which in each village, in each hamlet, there would be one barefoot woman health worker who would visit the houses of her hamlet. She would see that no child is suffering from malaria or pneumonia, and if there is a child, she would give medicine or will refer her to the nearest medical center. And then we saw that medical centers are not well managed, the staff is not there, medicines are not there. Then women started organizing themselves and started fighting with the administration to get their centers properly managed. So like this, we pushed the government to work properly in these areas.
Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, it's like starting off from scratch and then going to a no man's land, literally, because you've been there near it, and going to a no man's land like Dantewada, remote villages, and then trying to educate them, trying to strengthen the core motive of democracy, and to fetch their own rights, and then live free. So let me ask you further questions, but even before that, friends, we have today live on NRISamay Himanshu Kumar ji, a Gandhian human rights activist from Meerut, and who has been working in Dantewada, Chhattisgarh, for the past 17 years. And you all are aware, there was a fall-off between the government of Chhattisgarh. Himanshu Kumar was propelled into saving many lives of the people who were caught between state violence waged between people. Dantewada and parts have been marred by various different brutalities, probably. And Himanshu Kumar ji has been instrumental in bringing to light all the happenings out there in Chhattisgarh. So Himanshu Kumar ji and his team have done numerous things by filing FIRs against perpetrators of violence, people fighting for their rights and their causes, filing RTIs for various different activities. So we are in conversation with the Gandhian of Dantewada, Mr. Himanshu Kumar ji. So Himanshu Kumar ji, I was trying to understand, you've been doing noble work, and your intention to strengthen democracies is such a noble deed. So with all the happenings out there, what was the response of the people? So you've been involved for a few years with the tribal people in Dantewada, and then you've been trying to put education system in place, everything right in the right direction. So what was the response of the people?
It was very encouraging response from the people. Actually, when we started work, we were the leader in our work. We used to be the taking lead for some activity. But later, when we started empowering tribal activists who started working with us, and then we also trained them in empowering the community. And our motive was that community should lead us. We should not lead the community, rather community should lead us, and they should tell what to do and how to do it. So in some years we achieved that goal, and actually then tribal women used to tell us that which campaign we should launch now, what work we should do now, what issue we should start our fight now. So it was finally the women of the community who took the lead. So we can say that it was very effectively done work there, because we could empower the community there, and still the community with which we work there is still working very, I can say, very strongly there. And sometimes they fight with Naxalites, and many times they fight with police and other people who try to exploit them. So in a way, there was a very encouraging response from the community.
Right, right. Himanshu ji, you almost have taken an extreme risk, because the entire platform there is built on mistrust. That means neither the government might really be will be taking a close note of the work you're doing, and also the Naxalites also other. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yes. So the entire platform in Dantewada is based on mistrust from either sides. If I'm true to what I'm saying, but you can correct.
Yes.
So the one side, the government will be closely following the nature of work you guys will be doing, and on the other side, Naxalites will also be closely watching you, because there are a couple of people, Himanshu ji and his wife, coming from a different place, trying to settle down in a tribal village, and then trying to solve the problem. So either parties will be watching you closely. So how did the government receive your way of doing work for the tribals, and how did Naxalites look at the work you have been doing? Can you give us a perspective of either sides?
Yes. Actually, in the initial days, both were not very much disturbed or were not very suspicious about our work. The government was also quite happy. The local officers were very happy that we were working with the people to whom administration has never reached to them after independence. So we were reaching those people. They used to say that our officers, when they are transferred to Bastar, they feel this is a punishment posting, and they never live here. They just try to go out and stay out most of the time, and they are most of the time absent. They don't attend to their service here. But you have come from Delhi and you are voluntarily serving these people, so it's a very good thing for the government. And Naxalites were also, they used to say that Vanvasi Chetna Ashram, sometimes they used to give our example to the tribal that, you see, we want to serve you as one. So, both of them were quite okay with us.
Oh.
But when the Salva Judum started in 2005, Salva Judum is an army created by a state government. It's a vigilante group. Some lumpen elements were collected by the state. Some 5,000 boys were collected from tribal community, and they were given government arms. And they were asked to clear the land for mining. So they used to attack villages, burn the houses of the people, kill people, rape women, kill small children, old people. And in this process, government burned down some 700 villages of Dantewada district. So after that, there was a great atmosphere of mistrust, because it became like a war-like situation.
Yes.
When people were attacked by the state, in normal courts, when someone is attacked by someone, then he or she goes to the police and the government and file its complaint and seek justice.
Right.
But when government attacks, then there is no one you can go and seek justice. So people were in a hopeless situation. And Naxalites then came forward and extended their support to the people who were being attacked by the state.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So in this situation, Naxalites and people became one, and government became the attack, the perpetrator of the attack.
Right.
Then in this situation, government started blaming us that since we can go to the village and come back safely, so we have links with Naxalites. We are on the Naxal side. And Naxals started blaming us that we are reaching to the people with government welfare schemes to take people back to the government's lab.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So both the parties started, disbelieving us.
Okay.
But gradually, situation improved a bit. Government never trusted on us after that, but Naxalites had to trust on us.
Oh, okay.
Because people were on our side.
Oh.
People knew that we are not on the government side, that we are not going to support government when there is a question of attack on the people. But government never believed on us, and they continued thinking that we are on the Naxal side.
Okay. So you're saying that the fall-off between government and people and the Naxalites started off in 2005 with Salwa Judum movement that the government has taken that initiative, right?
Yes.
Oh.
That was the turning point.
Okay. So this is an important question I should ask you. So would you be arrested if you're right now found in Chhattisgarh? What is the current state of affairs?
Yeah, they have launched many criminal cases against me, like there was a lady named Soni Suri. Soni Suri is a lady. She's a mother of 4 children. She was shot at her neck by Cobra battalion, which is a CRPF battalion. And 16 people in her village were killed, including 80-year-old blind man, 70-year-old handicapped woman whose breasts were chopped off by security forces, government security forces, and an 8-year-old small child, girl, and 16 others were cut into pieces by sword by government security forces. And this lady, Soni Suri, was eyewitness. She came to us to get legal and other support. We took her to Delhi Supreme Court and we admitted her to St. Stephen's Hospital, Delhi, New Delhi, where her leg was operated. And she filed a complaint in Supreme Court of India. And hospital asked us to bring her back after 3 months. We took her back to Dantewada. And after 3 months, when we were bringing her to Delhi for a second round of operation on her leg, she was abducted by police. And next day, police lodged a complaint against me that actually I have abducted that lady.
Okay.
And that they declared in media that Himanshu had abducted this lady, and now we are going to arrest Himanshu tomorrow. So that is one case. Then they produced some boy who claims that I am an escalate and Himanshu used to help us.
Oh, okay.
And so many cases they have filed, fake cases against.
Okay. So you mentioned about Soni, right now, if I'm right?
It's not Soni Suri, it's Soni Suri.
Okay, Shambho. Okay, I got it. Okay, sorry, Shambho. Okay.
From Gompal village.
Yes, I got it. So, lot of activists, including you, I think right now you moved away from Chhattisgarh. You no longer stay in Chhattisgarh. And people like Soni Suri, people like Kopa Kunjum and Lingaram, whom we are aware of, because Helka has brought in some substantial details about them. All who have been arrested on charges of being a Maoist. Do you get a fair chance to defend yourselves, or what is the state of Himanshu ji, Soni Suri, or Kopa Kunjum, or Lingaram? If you can tell us a little bit on all these activists, what is your state of affairs right now, and are you in a position to have a fair chance to defend your cases?
You see, the government, in my case, government is not coming and arresting me in Delhi. They just want me that I should not come back to Chhattisgarh. Then it's okay with this. That if I am in Delhi, they are not going to arrest me. Or they are scared of Supreme Court and the national media and the support group, national and international support group, and they don't want to expose them to this extent that they can attack a man like me who is clearly defending the rights of the tribals. Okay. So perhaps they are not in a position to dare so much. This is perhaps in my case. But in other cases like Soni Suri and Linga Koropi and Kopa Kunjam, they could dare to attack and put them in jail. Because they know that the tribals don't have that much support nationally or internationally, and they can put them in jail and they can do whatever they wish with them. So that is why they dared to attack on them. This is a very unfortunate situation that people who belong to middle class, who are not tribal, they have some privilege. And these tribal don't enjoy that privileged status.
Oh, okay. And Himanshu ji, sorry to interrupt you. We have a question from Pradeep Kumar Pratipati from Machilipatnam. His question is, let me check for it. So, Naxals in Chhattisgarh are really working for tribals, or are they looking it as a source for earning money for livelihood? So his question was, are the tribals in Chhattisgarh looking for a livelihood for themselves, or they look for government schemes to help them? What is the state of the tribal people out there?
You see, tribals are sufficient to, look after their family and their livelihood. They have enough in general to sustain their livelihood there. Mm-hmm. But if government schemes are there, like NRISamay and other construction of roads or buildings is there, mm-hmm. that adds to their extra income. But that too, to the people who are living near to the road. Mm-hmm. But Bastar is a very vast area, and most of the area there is no government scheme has so far reached. So people are living there. I can say sufficient. They have sufficient food, and they are not lacking food. Without government schemes that they cannot live is not a situation there. Mm-hmm. So they are living without government schemes also. A vast majority of the tribals there.
Oh, okay. Sir, Himanshu ji, we have the caller live on air right now. Sir, please state your name and go ahead with your question, sir.
Hi, Himanshu ji. This is Srihari from Los Angeles. Thank you for coming to NRISamay show and sharing your experiences in the tribal area. So, yes. Sir, my question is about Tata Steel. We have advertisements about their value, and they run campaigns, and they are helping the tribals, their financials and economy. So how much of this is actually giving the jobs to the tribals, and how much of it is their own exploitation of the environment? How is it seen from the public, the tribals, and how is it, what exactly is the reality? Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, if we see the number of the people displaced due to their project, the number of the people who are displaced from their land and who lose the livelihood because of the Tata or any other project, and the number of the people who get employment, then we will see that there is a great loss to the people. Very less number of people get employment, local people. Most of the people who get employment in such industrial projects are outsiders and specialized people like engineers and technicians and other people. But local people are very less. They are either peon or the security guard, but very less people. And the number of the people displaced is a very large number. So if we see this ratio, then people are in loss. The other thing is that the loss it makes to the environment, like their water is polluted, and many more villages lose their river. they become unable to irrigate their land of pollution. The river is polluted. And the area around the project, in most of the cases, because of the dust, the life is not possible there. So people migrate. They give up abandon their villages. They abandon their cropping there because crop is not possible because of the dust and the pollution there. So the people get most of the loss. They earn loss, and the profit is earned by the industrial house only. So if we don't address this profit and loss, who will earn profit and who will earn loss, if you don't see this in a wider term, then this advertisement, I don't think is a correct advertisement. It is very misleading propaganda which these business houses make to the world.
So, Srihari, thank you very much for that question. So, Himanshu ji, thank you for answering that question. And coming back, now we have been discussing about Soni Suri, Kopakunjam, and other activists along with you who are fighting to defend your rights. So, I was just trying to understand what's the latest update on Soni Suri. If you can just let us know a little backdrop of who Soni Suri is all about. And what status of Soni Suri? Who is Soni Suri, and what's the whole story about her?
Yeah, Soni Suri is a tribal lady who is tortured in a police station by a very senior police officer called Ankit Garg, who is superintendent of police, who was superintendent of police of Dantewada district in Chhattisgarh. Superintendent of police instructed to show store pieces in Soni Suri's private parts. And when Soni gave electric shocks to Soni Suri and beaten her up in police custody. And when Soni Suri later complained about it, she moved to the Supreme Court, and she was examined in Kolkata Medical College, and doctors found stone pieces in her private part, and they, along with the medical report, sent these stone pieces to the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, for the last 6 months, no action against perpetrator of this crime is taken, and on the contrary, the then superintendent of police Ankit Garg, who did this crime, who committed this crime, is awarded gallantry award by President of India. So we are very shocked to know all this. And Soni Suri was punished because she tried to help her nephew, Linga Koropi. Linga Koropi is a tribal journalist, and he took videos of 3 villages which were last year in March burnt down by government forces in Dantewada in order to clear those villages for mining purposes. So the government wanted to punish Linga Koropi, and Soni Suri tried to help Linga Koropi, her nephew. So police put her also in jail. And also, police tried to pressurize Soni Suri that she should give in writing that Himanshu Kumar, Arundhati Roy, Adita Srivastava, Swami Agnivesh, Prashant Bhushan are Naxalite supporters, and Himanshu Kumar is a Naxalite leader. And when she refused to sign such a paper, then she was given this brutal treatment. Now she is in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, and she was severely ill. Now she is recovering, and within 1 or 2 days she will be sent back to the jail.
Oh, okay. So how long has she been in AIMS, if you can clear that air here?
I beg your pardon?
So how long has she been in this AIMS hospital in Delhi? How long has she been here?
Yeah, she was brought some 10 days back.
Oh, okay. So she's still taking the treatment, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. And then once her treatment is done, she'll be taken back to the jail. That's what you mentioned.
Yes. And this is the unfortunate. She will be sent back she will be, handed over to the people who are responsible for her, this condition and brutal torture to her. And we are arguing in Supreme Court that she should be brought to Delhi and kept in Delhi instead of Chhattisgarh, where she was brutalized.
So you mentioned a few names like Swami Agnivesh, Arundhati Roy, if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, and you also mentioned about Prashant Bhushanji, and earlier we had conversations with Prashant Bhushanji on NRISamay as well. So could you throw some light on what's their involvement in this whole story, please?
No. Actually, the Chhattisgarh and other tribal states are trying very hard to start mining and give land to the mining corporations. And these corporations are very powerful.
Okay.
And yeah, they at any cost want this mineral deposit. And for that, they are ready to kill lakhs, millions of tribals in the Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand. But some people like Prashant Bhushan and Millicent Arundhati Roy, me and all, we are speaking on this genocide of tribals. We are raising issues. We are creating hurdle in this genocide. So government is trying to silence us. So they are, in any way, they are in a mood to silence us by putting us in jail or attacking on us in any way. So in that process only they asked Soni Suri, the pressurized Soni Suri, to name us so that they could make a case and put us in jail and so.
Oh. Now, the big question for anyone of our listeners or whoever who's watching the episode unfold is, why is the media so silent on Chhattisgarh? So, what's going on? This is like a story which I was unaware of, honestly speaking. And when I started learning about you guys, so I was getting material from Tehelka. That's the only source that I get material from Tehelka. There doesn't seem to be any other platform that talks about tribals. So why do you think media is so silent on Chhattisgarh and it's happening?
Actually, the English media or the elite media, I would say, or the mainstream media, is a media which is targeting the people who are urban, English-speaking, well-to-do, developed people. And you see, development is now based on resources of other people. We are not developing on our resources. We are making these developments on the resources of the other people, people who are less strong, who are weak people, like tribals are very weak, so we are taking their resources for our development. Now, those whose interest is that the resources supply should not be discontinued. We don't want to listen about tribal genocide or discontinuation of the supply of the resources. So we just want to not discuss these issues. That's why this media doesn't show us the reality about the tribal areas, because we don't want to know about it. And we try to become, show that we are apolitical. When it comes to the question of real issues of development, we are developed. On what cost?
Right.
On the cost of the millions of people's lives. They are being killed. Genocide is happening in tribal areas because of our development. Are we going to accept this fact? No, we don't want to accept it. That's why our media doesn't show this to us. So it's a very deliberate, well thought, well calculated decision. Don't want to know about it. It will lead us to a different lifestyle altogether, and that we don't want to go in so deep. We are just destroying this whole planet in this way. The way of development we have adopted for India. If you allow me, I would quote Mahatma Gandhi here. Mahatma Gandhi said that you are adopting model of development of the British, and British used to grab other nations' resources, and for that they used to keep a big army. But after independence, if India will continue this model of development, then you will have to attack on your own people for their resources. And this will give birth to a social conflict, and this will lead to a war, and war in a nuclear age will end your civilization. So that was what Gandhi has said, that this development will give birth to the social conflict.
Wow. So let's get the other side of it. Chidambaram has said that the government is willing to negotiate with Naxalites, and provided they lay down their arms. Why do you think the Naxalites are opposed to this? What is the latest on these negotiation efforts? Do you think there will be any calm down between either parties?
No, what Chidambaram says is he's not even 1% honest to it. Naxalites have replied, they have responded that not only he never said that you should lay down your arms.
Okay.
What he says that hold the fire. For 72 hours, hold the fire. Absorb violence for 72 hours only. The Naxalites said, we give you 72 days. We won't fire. But ask your forces that they should also not attack on people in these 72 days. But that doesn't happen.
Wow.
On the contrary, Chidambaram, on his instruction, they spread wrong news about Naxal attacks. When we verified, even Pahalka verified, that those claims of the government that Naxals have attacked were fake. So, Chidambaram is not at all honest. We are ready to mediate this peace talks if government wish, and we have extended our offer before the government. But government is not ready for any peace talk, because they are at any cost, they are to mine this area. And they are not ready to listen anything about who will be benefited, how the social justice be looked into this, inclusive growth, concept of the inclusive growth, inclusive development. No other issue they are ready to listen about. They are just to mine it, sell it, earn money, run away.
So, what's happening in Chhattisgarh right now? Is the operation still on and it's ongoing process, or it has calmed down or settled down? What do you think right now is the status at Chhattisgarh?
No. Today only some people came from Chhattisgarh to meet me, and they were saying that the situation is worsening day by day. And now what they have done, that they are doing it very secretly, and they are tightening their network. I mean, no journalist can report from Dantewada, from these tribal areas. No outside journalist is allowed to visit. No news can come out. Nobody from outside can go there. And no voice can be raised against illegal mining and attack on people. It has become quite a... I mean, they have made all arrangements for a full-fledged genocide of the tribal. Now they will make a situation where people will die due to lack of food, medicine, water. I mean, only 1 week, last week, people told me that there is no water in tens of villages altogether. And today only there is a news. B.D. Sharma visited Abudmal, and he also has given an interview to Down to Earth that in Abudmal there is no water, drinking water for people. They are drinking dirty water from ditches. So government is planning to kill these tribals by surrounding them from all sides without food, water and medicine.
Okay. So, as I see it, Binayak and Soni Suri, Kopa Kunjum, Lingram, yourself, or few people were all caught up in this whole triangular war, consistently being told as a Maoist sympathizer, or sometimes being alleged that you're a Maoist. But I think, like when you're talking about the intensity, it looks like there are hundreds and hundreds of other people whose stories are unheard or untold right now. Looks like we have missed a huge chunk of people who are stuck in that Dantewada village. I'm trying to understand who in this world is bringing out your voice, who's basically coming out in support of you, or who's trying to understand and then come up with something wherein the tribal people and common man who's stuck there could at least survive, because lack of food is something understandable, but lack of water is like almost death. It's like you're not living, even if you're surviving. Without water is unbelievable. So who is sharing your voice, who's sharing your pain, and who's sharing your agony? Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yes, for last few months I'm feeling very helpless, because some magazines like Tehelka and sometimes some small blogs and websites used to publish our voice, but now that is also becoming more and more very scarce now. So I'm feeling very much helpless now and very depressed, because I know that this is the time that people need help there, and none of us is able to help these people. and we call it a democratic country. But people who are dying of because of they don't have food, water, and medicine, and we are not in a situation to help them. It's a very depressing situation. I'm very much depressed, and I want that this voice should be spread, this message should be spread. People should raise voice in favor of people of Dantewada. Government should be pressurized to open it for humanitarian support to the people in form of food, water, and medicines, and many lives of tribals could be saved.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is a question I got to ask you. What do you predict is your future? I'm asking about you. I know. When I'm talking about you, it's about future of Soni Suri, future of all these activists, or future of all these people who got stuck in this catch-22 situation wherein you have nowhere to go. And as I hear from you, you being very proactive, you having the voice, you can talk in multiple languages, you having the exposure, you having the background, when you say you're being depressed, this is the question I got to ask you. What do you predict is your future? 2 years down the line, if I want to talk to Himanshu Kumar, where would he be?
Well, I'm not going to give up. I'm receiving these news, and this is making me more angry, and I mean, this is giving me a strength to take some bold steps, and I'm thinking to take some bold steps to come out of this indecisiveness very soon. And I am also receiving news about jails in Chhattisgarh where thousands of people are languishing, especially women are in very bad situation. So for them also, we are planning to do something. Then there are many other activists who are languishing in jail. For them, we are planning to do legal support work. And of course, this humanitarian work for the people living in villages. So, I mean, this depression, this situation of depression is not a permanent phase, it's a temporary phase. And I hope that very soon we will come out of it and we will think of something positive for the people very soon.
Very good, very good. And just to, even before I wrap up here, because we are almost crossed an hour, and thank you for being patient, Himanshu ji, I wanted to understand what was the outcome of your cycle yatra from Delhi to Bombay? Did you pull up support? Did you spread an awareness? Did you have enough support?
Yes, actually that gave me a very good insight of the situation all around the country. At least to this stretch. And I could see that everywhere resources of the people are being taken away by the powerful people. Everywhere land of the villages is being taken away forcibly by the government for the rich people. And everywhere there is a struggle. People are fighting against the government and the powerful people. So it's not only Chhattisgarh, it is in Maharashtra, in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, everywhere the fight is there.
Okay. So Himanshu ji, I think we have had a fantastic conversation, at least from NRISamay and all our listeners. I think we have learnt a lot of this untold story and almost an unheard voices. I'm every day on internet browsing a lot of things, but I never honestly has come across a story of Himanshu Kumar or the nature of the intense situation that a place called Dantewada is caught up with. I heard of Dantewada, but I didn't really get a deep insight of what's going on. So it's really a great honor to talk to you today, understand the current situation there at Dantewada and the triangular war that's going on, which is almost making the lives of Adivasis and tribals miserable. Himanshu ji, it's really a great pleasure to talk to you. So thank you very much for coming on our show. You wanted to appeal to our listeners on what you have to say today, please.
Yeah, I would request everyone who is listening this program that wherever they are and in whatever manner they can help these people, at least they should raise their voice in favor of these people so that the message is spread and people come to know about these people, these stories.
Where do, when we talk about help, it's first thing is getting information on what kind of activities are going on and what kind of help they can offer and how they can help. Can you throw a little bit of light on that front, Himanshu ji?
Yeah, one is that they should raise voice in favor of the tribals and help stopping government attack on people, and also for legal and humanitarian support and legal support which we are planning to give to these people. Financial support in form of payment to the lawyers and campaigns, that is also required many times. Like Soni Suri, her family is to be supported, her lawyer is to be paid, Linga Kovapi's lawyer is to be paid. Many lawyers are working on a different activist basis. So that also, if someone will give, we would welcome that.
Okay. Do you know of any people or NRIs who are closely involved and who can be as contact points to if somebody wants to get in touch with your work? Do you know of some NRI agencies or NGOs who's got some understanding and who can answer questions? Can you throw some light on that front?
AID has been closely helping this initiative of rehabilitation and rehabilitation in Chhattisgarh, AID US.
AID, that which is like, AID organization, right? NGO, okay.
Yes.
Aid organization, yep, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good pointer. So friends, if you want to know more information about this, kindly visit aidindia.org. It's aidindia.org. So, and you can get more information about Himanshu Kumar and the work he has done for the tribals. And AID is Association of India Development. I think recently we had a conversation with AID founder Ravi Kuchimanchi as well on NRISamay.
Yes.
So if you need more information, friends, please go to aidindia.org. And I think right now I'm browsing Mr. Himanshu ji. I can see a lot of information about the work you've done, and then the problem that is focused at Dantewada. So once again, Himanshu ji, it's a great pleasure and an honor to have you on our show today. And we deeply understand the intense problem that's there right now at Dantewada. And thank you very much for giving your 1 hour of your time. I know your time is extremely valuable, as you have told our listeners today that you had few people who visited today, and you've been deeply involved in their activities as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarji. So that's it, friends, for today. We had Himanshu Kumar, Gandhian human activist from Meerut, and he has been working in Dantewada, Chhattisgarh for the past 17 years in the midst of an old triangular war between the state, the Naxals, and the Adivasis, split from within by the infamous government-sponsored Salva Judum, and he's also a prime mover Vanvasi Chetna Ashram, an organization that has been serving as a nerve connection between Adivasis in different states. So hailing from different Meerut, Himanshu Kumar and his wife has learnt this local language called Gondi and had assimilated in the local milieu. So traveling on foot into the deep villages inside the forest, they focused on teaching tribals about their entitlements and also bringing to light these isolated communities into a democratic framework. And they have tried creating awareness about the government schemes meant for Adivasis, about utilizing their schemes. And eventually, after 2005, after the fallout of this Salva Judum mechanism that the government has started, the conflict has flared up in Chhattisgarh, and Himanshu Kumar was eventually propelled into saving lives of the tribal people, and he being caught up between the state terror and the violence being waged in the name of people, and Dantewada is right now in shambles, and Himanshu is right now in New Delhi fighting for the rights of these people, still trying to figure out how he can come out with solutions that can really help the people of Dantewada. So it was a great honor to have Himanshu ji today on air, and I hope our listeners have got an enough perspective of what happens in Dantewada and what the state of affairs of this Adivasis and tribals in that region. And if you have any further questions, please write us to nrisamay@gmail.com or visit us at facebook.com/NRISamay. And you can also hear to this archive recorded show at youtube.com/NRISamay. And if you want to get more insight, more information about Himanshu Kumarji and his work, and how you, if you wish to support him by in whatever way possible, you can reach out to aideindia.org. It is Association of India Development, aid india.org, and you can read their stories on their website as well. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, friends, and listen to this wonderful music. Thank you very much.
Salva Judum.